Welcome to the regular Menthol podcast, where we discuss Keynote movies. My name is Tate. My co-host here is Chris.
Hello.
We give a little thoughts on the movie, our experience growing up with it. Then we discuss some specific scenes that we liked, follow up with a Keynote rating. Now, boy, in this movie, we got a ton of stuff to cover because it's chock full of great scenes. So, we'll get right into it. This week, our movie is The Big Lebowski.
Lebowski. 1998.
Yeah, 1998. Holy smokes. I did not think it came out that late in the 90s. I watched this movie and I think, ooh, that's mid-90s. Nah, 98.
What differentiates that for you, my friend?
Well, what differentiates it is I think about the movie Blade.
Okay.
And Blade came out in 98.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you watch Blade. It has a very different look than this movie, in my mind. Has that futuristic, that black leather, kind of Matrixy look.
Well, they're not wearing black leather in Big Lebowski.
They're certainly not. Dude, how you doing? I mean, I'm feeling just sensational tonight.
Yeah, you're in rare form.
I feel great.
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I feel wonderful. I got absolutely nothing going on. I got the routine of just going in every work and just going to the gym. I'm gym selling.
Gym sell.
And yeah, I feel fantastic. What can I say?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a lot going on. I'm looking for a quiet weekend to just relax. This insane summer is coming to a close. It's still like 95 degrees. It rained today, and it was raining while it was 90 degrees. How's that possible? Big old fat rain.
I don't want to get into conspiracies. I don't want to get on a rant here. I think they're controlling the weather, though. But,
Oh, boy. What is that? CERN, it's called?
Sure.
Isn't that like the whole conspiracy? There's like a government operation called CERN.
CERN is breaking reality. They're launching atoms at each other and creating parallel dimensions.
Oh, okay. Well,
there's another dimension. Do you ever see that movie, The One, with Jet Li? Where he goes to other dimensions and kills himself in another dimension and becomes stronger. That's what's going to happen.
The prophecy.
Literally
Prophecy
right
has
now
been foretold.
I'm going to have multiple versions of myself, and we're just going to have a karate match with each other, of all things. Why kill each other with guns? You could just have karate matches to find out who's the best, and then I'm going to get superpowers that way. I believe in that. Okay.
How you feeling about this movie?
Well,
rewatching it. When was the last time you watched it?
The last time I watched it was a long time ago, actually.
Okay, you rewatched it, and how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel kind of incredible.
Go on.
Well, for one thing, my memory of watching it was these, the nihilists, the dude with his white Russians, Walter yelling at Donnie, Jesus, right?
Mm-hmm.
But rewatching it, I'm like, oh my God, every scene is chock full of really weird stuff.
There's some weird stuff, yeah, once you look back at it and watch it again.
But I'll tell you what, I forgot about the opening. Let me talk about what this movie is real quick. The Big Lebowski, the most easygoing man in the universe, gets wrapped up in a strange kidnapping / money laundering scheme by a guy who shares the same extremely uncommon name as him. After an initial case of mistaken identity ruins a man's rug, he vows to get his rug back at all costs, even though with the money he's offered through these various goofy things going on in the movie, he could buy a new rug at any time. Kind of hard to come up with a description on this one, honestly.
That's it. When it comes down to it, it's the bare bones. That's pretty much it. But you said before we started recording here, this movie kind of mellowed you out.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Well, I mean, I don't know if the audience knows too much about me or can really read into my inner psyche based on what I've been saying so far on the episodes, but I'm kind of a high-strung guy, okay? I'm just crushing stimulants at all times, just kind of losing my mind. I freak out over everything, and I just a little bit
Unhinged?
wired, I guess you would say, right?
Wired. That's a good one.
So anyway, I watching this movie and the opening credits come on,
Mm-hmm.
in the bowling alley, and it's just like a calm washes over me, right? The intro here, the movie title and credits with the song "The Man in Me" by Bob Dylan playing.
No, 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 no.
Everything from the font of the letters here to the slow motion bowling,
Mm-hmm.
to the song, you combine them together and what you get is this really chill vibe, which is kind of like the dude's aura throughout the movie. Right.
Yep.
And, I see this opening. I get a smile on my face.
There's a couple. I think every time they have one of those little dream sequences with the song, there's a couple of those in this movie. They're all pretty mellow.
Yep. Oh,
yeah.
Totally, dude. And smile ear to ear.
Yeah.
Okay. I chill out and I just vibe. Okay.
It is a vibe. Yeah. Those sequences are vibe worthy.
Like no cap though. I find myself just singing the song and like humming along with it in my head. And, like, I guess I get in a good mood here. And it has an afterglow effect for like a day or two. This movie literally acts like psychedelics.
Yeah.
Where a couple days afterwards, I'm still feeling the lightened effects of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you a little example here, okay? I'm thinking of this movie, this opening, on my way home from work tonight, and I'm humming the song in my head, right? And I just said to myself, I'm on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. I'm just going to Cozy Max the way home.
Cozy Max? What do you mean?
Well, Cozy Maxing is a system of driving I developed where I stop caring about, getting home as fast as I can or kind of
being in a rush,
driving in the left-hand lane. I just go in the right-hand lane and I don't give a damn how fast I'm going. I don't care if it's 50 miles per hour on the turnpike.
Meanwhile, I'm going 90 in the passing lane, bitching people out because they're going 80.
Dude,
quite the opposite. Rage maxing.
If you get if you get a chance sometime maybe the listeners out there, you're on the road, maybe a turnpike or something, get in the right hand lane and just go like 60 miles per hour and just embrace, just feel the moment. Just feel.
It's invigorating.
Put your hand out the window, feel the wind. I'm cozy. That's what I feel like watching this movie, dog.
So let's get back to this thing. Another bowling movie, right? We just finished Kingpin, and here we are again. Just another bowling movie. A Keynote. There's too many of them.
In the 90s, dude. What is happening in the 90s with these bowling movies?
That was it, man, dude. Bowling isn't as popular as it once was, Have you been to a bowling alley recently?
The last time I was at a bowling alley was a couple of years ago, 2023.
They still rule. I mean, it's still a great hobby to just, or even just go every now and then. You go back to
I love bowling.
You realize you forget how awesome it is.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of bowling, but I just never make a point of going.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Brandt for a second, shall we?
I have an idea. Let's discuss, let's discuss a couple of these characters in this movie, just to kind of set the tone here. We got, Jeff Bridges, who plays the dude, right? Mm-hmm. You have, John Goodman, who plays Walter Sobchak, right? Steve Buscemi, who plays Donnie. And folks, again, we talk about the Mount Rushmore of I wouldn't say underrated actors, but actors who we feel are the GOATs. And you got Philip Seymour Hoffman playing Brandt. Now, Hoffman doesn't have like a ton of scenes, if you will, or a lot of lines in this movie, but God, what he has is just God tier, you know?
Was this before he was Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Well, I mean, what
Superstar.
year was Twister? That's all I had. That's where it was the first time I saw Philip Seymour Hoffman. 1996. Oh. Yeah, there you go. So
96. Wow.
Yeah, guy does. There was like a documentary on him and how he came to be, and man, what a talent. But plays Brandt, the Big Lebowski's right hand man. We'll get into some of the funny scenes with him, but Steve Buscemi plays Donnie. Talk to me a little bit about that character.
I love him, and it's funny watching him in this movie because you see him in Reservoir Dogs, and you're like, this guy, although looks kind of wiry, is a legitimate threat. This is a threatening man.
Mm-hmm.
In this movie, you're like, this is the most unthreatening man possible.
Donnie, what a great character. And then, you got John Goodman, Walter Sobchak. I'm going to throw this out there. This is my favorite character in the movie. Dude, John Goodman, just with his little nuances. I read that they wrote the character of Walter Sobchak and Donnie specifically for those two, Buscemi and Goodman, but they didn't know who was going to play the dude initially. But just goes to show you, I mean, Walter Sobchak, they were like, the only person that can do this is John Goodman. Now, mind you, they worked with him before, but needless to say, just the way he plays his character, to me, is just, we'll get into it, but absolutely love it. And talk to me about the dude.
The dude, just the most laid back, chill guy. Someone might call him lazy, right?
And the dude was most certainly that.
Like, just a hell of a character.
Yeah.
Like, do you know anyone in your life that is like the dude?
I do, actually. There's one person that we both probably agree on, and that's our buddy K-Man. Could you agree with that?
I don't know. I mean, like, in a certain way, yeah.
He's probably the closest, where he just doesn't care and he just doesn't let
very laid back. Yeah, but the dude's like a force of nature.
Yeah,
he's like a very big aura about him. He's aura maxing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anyone like that except like my other friend Duke, who kind of
Jesus,
looks like him. This like portly gentleman with like a big giant beard, but then doesn't really have the laid back attitude and is kind of like he wants to wrestle everyone.
Yeah, Duke, he doesn't have the same energy as the dude.
No, but the cult of personality type thing.
Yeah, there you
go. Is similar. What do you think about like Walter? Is he even a Vietnam vet in this movie?
Yeah, it's funny because that's pretty much all he talks about in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he is. Why? Do you think, does something strike you as he's not?
Yeah, he strikes me as someone who claims that he was in Vietnam, but wasn't really.
Go on.
Like someone who's yelling at every moment, my friends didn't die in the muck.
Yeah, face
for this guy to do this or whatever. It's like, was he even really in Vietnam?
Sorry, my daughter just ran down to kiss me goodnight.
Oh, that's okay.
So yeah, no, he I see where you're coming with that. Yeah, he could be. It seems like he knows what he's talking about when he reflects back on like Hill, whatever number it is, and Caisson and whatever. But I could see where you're coming from with that, just with the way he like pops off and reacts.
I've met a bunch of people like that, like Walter, and it's like not in everyday life. I used to do karate, and doing adult karate is you're introduced to a world of just like wild personalities, and you get people like Walter coming in. You're like, this dude is super crazy.
I know what you mean. They're just over the top about it, and it's just like kind of. I get it.
Yeah. But like, how old is John Goodman supposed to be in this movie?
That's a good question. I look at it at first glance. You think him and the dude. They're probably in their 40s, 50s. Mm-hmm. Is that what you get?
I got like 40s,
right,
mid to late 40s. But the reason that I asked that is I'm just somewhat confused by all these people's lives. And what I mean by that is, like, you notice none of these people in this movie have any kids?
Yeah.
Right?
John Goodman was 44 years old, if you can believe that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like, what do all these people do with their lives? What are they just doing all day? It seems like they're just, dude is unemployed. Walter shows up late, has a tiny Pomeranian. He's divorced. They're just in this bowling league. Like, what is going on in these people's lives? It seems like nothing.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. It's a good point. But yeah, you think about it, kind of the first thing the opening to this movie is it shows the dude going back to his apartment. Now, he's got a decent enough size apartment, and nothing strikes me as, that this is in like a gnarly part of town of LA. And again, he's got at least a bedroom, a kitchen, a bathroom, a living room space. How's the dude affording that when he's writing 69-cent checks?
Well, yeah. The only thing I can think of is things were more affordable back then.
True.
And in general, there was less bad neighborhoods, I guess. I don't know.
I did read a theory, actually, while I was watching this, that the initial idea was to have him be an heir to the Rubik's Cube inventor. They decided not to go with it. So the idea was he could have potentially been an heir to some kind of fortune.
Yeah, okay.
But who knows?
What do you think about Sam Elliott's character being God?
Okay, so Sam Elliott's character rules. I love it. His delivery on everything. But you make a good point here. And there's a very good chance that he could be. And I think he actually is, because the first scene that you see him at the bar, the dude doesn't notice him, right? The camera's off. It's kind of zoomed in on the dude, but it opens back up and kind of reveals him. But he somehow just knows to call him the dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if that's not enough, he also says, "One more thing, dude. You have to use so many cuss words." And he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He's like, "Have it your way, dude." But leading up to that, their entire conversation, their interaction, because he says that at the end, he doesn't curse once. So
yeah.
It's kind of a little tell there, right? So yeah, it's good.
He's listening to him his whole life.
Right. That's a good take, though, that he's God. Yeah, it's cool.
Like, I got the impression watching this, because I was watching it again, and he does this voiceover in the beginning of the movie, and it's kind of introducing everything, and he just seems familiar with the dude, and is kind of enamored with him, right?
Yeah.
And I started thinking about, like, what if this was God? What is going on here? And I just think God, he just shows up because of his utter fascination that someone like the dude
exists.
Like, God, it's as if, like, God created this game, and he had the game create infinite distinct versions of people. Like the custom character creator just went wild and just made all these different random people, right? He doesn't have any say in it. He just kind of oversees the game, but doesn't.
The randomizer, yeah.
The randomizer, right? And he's so impressed that the game created this character, the dude. He just couldn't help himself. He had to go take a look for himself.
That's a good way to put it. Well, it's funny you mention that, because the movie is, I don't know if you know this, but the character is based on this guy. I guess he was this dude, Jeff Dowd, who was a member of the Seattle 7, right? They were jailed for contempt of court following a violent protest against the Vietnam War. Vietnam War. Just talking about that. But he later moved to Los Angeles and became an independent movie producer, right? Apparently he was one of the Coen's initial movies. He was one of the guys who was able to secure the movie or something or other. So he already had ties, and they must have, befriended him and just realized that this guy's the dude. So they just made a movie about it, which is pretty wild. But he does reference the Seattle 7 when he's in bed with Maude. She's like, "What do you do?" He's like, "I'm bowling." He's like, "I was part of the Seattle 7, if you can believe it. Me and 6 other guys." But yeah, so it is based on this guy. You can look it up, and it's pretty. Doesn't really look like him, but yeah, apparently this is an actual dude. So
I like how every movie we talk about is eventually there's going to be some kind of connection to Vietnam.
Yeah, dude, it's kind of alarming. It's not intentional at all.
Was there any when you were growing up and this movie came out, was there any people in your group or anything that kind of just became the dude after this?
It's hard to say because I didn't watch this until probably 2003. Okay. My best friend growing up, Brandon, he introduced me to the movie Office Space, right? And I'm like, this movie is hilarious, right? And he's like, well, you're going to love Big Lebowski. So I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. So I watch it. I'm like, dude, what the hell was that? Like, I didn't get it. He's like, well, you just got to watch it again and then you'll get it. So of course I'm like, I don't know, dude. So of course, me being me, I don't actually listen. So eventually I got around to it and then I rewatched it a couple times and I hit him up. I'm like, dude, you were right. That movie is God tier. When was the first time you saw this?
The first time I saw this was probably right after it came out. When it came out on video, I just kind of vaguely remember sitting on my couch and my dad was watching it, and what
did your dad think of this? I mean, I know your dad. He's character. What was his?
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't really know. He just kind of thought the dude was funny.
Yeah,
he kind of liked the dude, but that's the extent of my memory of what his take was. I just kind of remember, sitting there and there's like more sex talk,
right?
And I'm like, oh boy, here's another movie. I got Fluffy sitting here. I got my dad sitting over there. And then these people are talking about sex. I'm like, this is getting a little awkward. Great. Maybe I should leave the room. But I distinctly remember seeing the dude floating through the air and his goofy face on his, like the look on his face. And I just remember laughing as a little kid. I'm like, look at this goofy stuff.
Yeah, dude.
But then later again, like you, I watched the movie again and I was like, yeah, this is genius.
Yeah.
This is genius stuff,
And that's the thing about these type of movies is like, you can watch this as like anybody can watch this movie and take something out of it. You know what I'm saying? If you watch some action movie or some Marvel movie, and again, we always shit on Marvel movies, but it's, it's not intentional, it's just what's out. So you're watching there's not really layers to it where you can like, okay, that has a deeper meaning. Some of it does, of course. I mean, I was actually texting our buddy Frankie, who's like this like Marvel nerd, right? And he was telling me about how he just saw the Fantastic Four. And I guess something populated on my YouTube algorithm and it actually had the history of Galactus. So I watched it and honestly, it showed like all the old school comics, right? And all the different colors and like the retro vibe to it of Galactus and Silver Surfer. I'm like, this is actually cool as shit. And then it was talking about like the biblical meaning behind it a lot. So I actually did enjoy that. But yeah, so I'm not saying that there's not deeper meaning, but the new age stuff, right? Or just any movie in general, it's like an action movie. There's not a lot of layers to it is what I'm getting at. Getting back to my point is, this is a movie that you can just watch if you're just you're not really looking to, you just want to be entertained. This can just be an entertaining movie without going deeper into it. But there's also a lot of subtext. So at any level of a movie watcher, you can watch this and get something out of it. That's what like movies like this are great. At first glance, it seems like kind of hodgepodge. It's like, what the hell's going on? It's just a lot of random things. But when you watch it again and again, you can keep taking more out of it.
Yeah, I mean, imagine watching this movie when it's opening night, right? You go to the movie theater with your date, and and you go to see The Big Lebowski. Imagine that for a second. Like, what would you be thinking at the end? You know, it's not exactly like you wasted 2 hours, but you're thinking like, what the hell did I just watch? Right?
Yeah.
I can't even imagine someone taking their date to this movie. Oh, let's go see The Big Lebowski. This looks funny. This is getting good reviews. Can you imagine that?
I mean, were these guys that big of names at this point? I wonder how popular this was when it first came out.
Dude, that's a great question, man. Was Jeff Bridges super popular at this point? Was John Goodman?
I mean,
arguably Steve Buscemi was the biggest name.
What year was this again?
98.
Yeah, so you're looking at 1998, Big Lebowski. Before that, I don't know, man. I don't think that there was anything that he was like that was too big that he did. I'm not seeing anything, at least on his IMDb, but yeah, I mean, this might have been his coming out.
Like, I think Jeff Bridges is more of an 80s guy.
Yeah, and what?
Like, there was that, I don't know, that one movie he was in where he's like,
Tron?
An action, there's Tron, yeah. Like, there's a bunch of movies that I just kind of remember from the 80s. John Goodman, I think of him as Roseanne.
Yeah.
But, like, right before this came out, Armageddon and Con Air came out the 2 years before that.
Right.
Starring Steve Buscemi.
Right.
So I'm wondering, Steve Buscemi has such a small role in this movie, but is he the biggest name?
No, like I said, they wrote the character with him in mind to begin with, so it wasn't never meant to be like a big character. It was supposed to be centered around the dude. They just probably brought him on because they knew he's awesome, and he just would have killed whatever size role they gave him. So, anywho,
one of my memories, my buddy Albert
React
down the street, Albert React, he loved this movie. Like, I was never really a big fan of this movie in terms of, like, you know how people get with this, where it became their whole kind of personality.
Yeah,
that was him. He downloaded the dude as his new personality. He became literally the dude, and he started drinking like White Russians. I'm not kidding you. That's kind of epic, though.
I did read something that there was like a petition to have like a religion after dudism or something like that, and there are they're like ordained priests, like dudist priests. Yeah, it's like so many 100,000 or whatever. It's like an actual thing, but yeah, it's definitely it definitely caught on for sure. The character. Speaking of, who's the literal you character in this movie?
Dude, I didn't even like identify with anyone in this movie.
Same.
The closest I could say probably be Donnie, just because I love bowling and I'm destined to die of a heart attack from stimulant abuse.
I personally would say I'm in the same boat. Nothing really jumped out at me, but I'd say Walter, because like I don't know, I'm just apt to barge into a situation without knowing what's going on, like he does, and then once I'm proven wrong, I just bullshit my way out of it, kind of like he does. Like, it's Walter Sobchak. Anyway, let's get into some of these Keynote scenes. Let's talk about this movie a little bit. Intro, like I said, you have intro is so cool, like you said before. But he's walking through the grocery store, the Ralph's. I need to go to a Ralph's at some point in my life. And he's paying for half and half creamer with a check for 69 cents. But I don't know if you caught this. If you look close at the date, it's September 11, 1991. Exactly 10 years before 9/11. But the movie was shot in 97. So,
dude, it's so funny. The movie makes some kind of point about how Saddam Hussein.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep.
It's right about the time of Saddam.
This aggression will not stand.
And later in the movie, he gets knocked out and he's just floating around, and then he comes and Saddam's the guy hitting him in his bowling shoes too. I think about, dude, remember when in the Bush administration, when they said that Saddam was responsible for 9/11? Do you remember that? That actually happened.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. I thought right away it was Osama bin Laden.
like, well, once they decided to go into Iraq, they were like, well, wait a second, Saddam, he did kind of fund Al-Qaeda.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So we got to, take over the country. Right?
No other option.
Holy smokes. Good times. I talked about this stuff in the notes here, but this is just, I love the intro. What can I say? The intro is just incredible. Just watch the intro on YouTube and you can just watch the intro there and it'll just get you like chilled out.
But getting back to Walter and some of just his funny, just nuances and some of the things he says throughout the movie is like at the beginning here, you have him raging about Vietnam and Charlie as the enemy. But the dude's like, says the Chinaman, right? Peed on his rug. And Walter just softens up and he's like, dude, also, Chinaman is not the preferred nomenclature. It's like, what, dude? And then immediately goes back to saying Chinaman in the next sentence. Like, it's just like Walter. I think Walter's the best character, but, yeah, the dialogue for me is like the best in this movie, right? And it's like right after he says that, they're still in the bowling alley, and Donnie says, and these guys peed on it. And Walter's like, Donnie, please. As he's like lighting the cigarette and he like has his glasses on. Donnie, please. His character, dude, just absolutely nails it.
And like we come up to Brandt at this part.
Talk to me about Brandt.
Well, Brandt is this very strange character who is the right-hand man of the Big Lebowski.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of this weird, effeminate, super formal guy in a suit, played by Philip Seymour Hoffman. And he's got hilarious facial expressions and great lines, even for such a small role.
That's honest. Like I was saying in the intros, that's exactly it. Like he's introducing the dude to all the Big Lebowski's achievements or whatever when they're walking through the hall, and he's touching this one plaque, and he's like, please don't touch that, right? And he actually gets pissed at the one, like the second time he has to tell the dude not to touch it. And then he finally just runs his finger across it. And he just kind of like tenses up. He's like, like you can just see his facial expression when he does that just is so gold, man. I love it. Yeah. But that leads up to when they're walking out of the house. It's like, take any rug I want. But they're leaving. And this is when they introduce you to Tara Reid. Now I have to ask you, what in God's name happened to Tara Reid?
I don't know. Drugs, insanity. But hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
This is 1998, folks. Tara Reid looking real hot.
Yeah, she was it.
And I think the peak of Tara Reid was that movie that came, I think, a year later, American Pie.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the peak? Was that peak Tara Reid?
I think so, or this. I mean, what year was American Pie?
I think it was 99.
Oh, okay, then yeah, I guess it would have been this. Right?
Right?
I feel bad. No, I mean, I don't know when she went down, like spiraled downhill. But it
was probably later in the 2000s.
Yeah, but
I guess she had like American Pie 2 come out. She's still top of her game in Maxim magazine.
Right.
FHM magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But if I had to answer your question in one word, well, I don't want to say it, but there'd be another word that I would use called drugs. That would be my guess.
Yeah. But another thing, like I was saying about Donnie before, is such a great character. This opening scene, there's another example here where, he's such a small character, but I think that the character of Donnie is such an important role to Dude and Walter because it kind of just expands them, right? And he's just reactionary in a lot of the scenes. So when Walter pulls out the gun on Smokey, right? He's like, if you just watch Donnie in the background, he's just kind of like looking around. His eyes are like almost kind of like closed and he's just not paying attention. And then as soon as he notices the gun, he just has this shocked expression on his face. And if you keep paying attention, he just kind of slides out of frame back behind. It's just like, it's all reactionary, but it's so good throughout the movie.
Every one of these actors who aren't the normal superstars that they have bowling are incredible.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like the Jesus's partner, he's this guy with this big gut.
I
And in the opening scene, he throws a strike in slow-mo, and it zooms in on his gut, and that's it. And it's just him
does this little shimmy. Yeah.
Pumping his arms, dancing.
So good. Yeah, and even just like Smokey. But
Smokey.
I wouldn't over. But I wouldn't over.
Just great actor, incredible character, Smokey.
He calls the dude, leaves a message. He's like, "Look, dude, I don't want to be a hard-on about this, but like it's just."
And then he ends the call by going, "Tell Walter I'm sorry."
He's a pacifist, man. He's a conscientious objector. Well, so now that we're talking about characters, we always talk about our highlighted extra folks, and I'm telling you, this one, it's the landlord. And I mean, need I say more?
Why was this part of the movie?
I don't know, dude. But he's like, dude, if you come by and stop by and take some notes, I'd appreciate it. And dude, it's already the first of the month, so just slip the rent. It's like I don't understand like the whole point of that character being so like sheepish.
There's that. There's like, why are they even bringing this up? And they go to the recital later in the movie, and you're like,
Walter,
what is happening here?
Walter's like, and then after the what have you, we can go.
Yeah.
But I will say this: there's a notable mention of highlighted extras that I want to throw out there is when he's getting interviewed by the two cops at his apartment. There's the guy with like the blonde hair comb over. He's like, "Ooh, separate incidents," because he's talking about the rug thing. And then Maud leaves a voicemail, like a message as they're like sitting there. He's like, "Mr. Lebowski, my name's Maud. I'm the one who took your rug." And then it just cuts out. The cop's like, "Well, I guess we can close the file on that one." So good.
Hero actor. The other cop is a somewhat successful actor.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've seen him in a ton of stuff.
The black dude?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Brandt calls up the dude and he's like, "By the way, we need you to stop by. This isn't about the rug."
Yeah. This scene I love this scene, dude. It's so well no, it's when are you talking about when the Big Lebowski's in mourning?
Yeah.
He's in the West Wing. He's in mourning. They got like the music playing in the background.
Do you think that Brandt was in on it with the Big Lebowski the whole time?
Well, I mean, he's like crazy loyal to the Big Lebowski. So if it was a setup, which it sounds to me at the end of the movie, the way that they confront the Big Lebowski and they say, "There was never any money, Lebowski." He's like, "You have your version, I have mine." It sounds to me like he is, saying it without saying it that, yeah, there was no money to begin with, right? And right. He has an allowance that you learn from Maud anyway. Right. So, yeah, I believe that Brandt was in on it.
And the reason I ask is because I wonder if the reason that Brandt is so weird is because he's trying to play someone who is not knowing about any of this stuff, just some guy that's helping out. When in reality, he knows everything that's happening. He's setting up the dude. So he's bad at setting people up. He's bad at lying. So that's how he comes off as a liar, is this completely strange individual.
This is our concern, dude. Well,
like they got him in the car at one point, you remember? And dude, the dude's like, "Did you even consider that?" And he's like, "No, we did not consider that."
Well, speaking of the car scene, if you pay attention, we're talking about his facial expressions. Like, it's incredible because they're in the limo and, Lebowski's reaming out the dude and Brandt's just sitting with this terrified expression, right, on his face. And it's so good because just rewatch the entire limo scene and just watch Brandt. It's hilarious. But getting back to, so, they find out that she's been kidnapped, quote unquote. And this is probably my favorite line of the movie is there's like this shot of the dude smoking a doobie and Brandt. And the dude goes, "He thinks the carpet business did this?" And Brandt's like, "Well, dude, we just don't know." And it just cuts to, that, what do you call it song, Eagle song, Hotel California. But it's just the way he delivers that line. He's like, "Well, dude, we just don't know." It's like, what? What? It's, yeah, Brandt. God. Philip Seymour Hoffman, man. What a king.
R.I.P. for real, because that dude ruled. Talk to me about Walter and his gear, his outfits, his clothing.
Man, I'll tell you what. I mean, he's got that Vietnam drip. Well, he actually has, I guess you would say, like that 90s veteran kind of gear. But then when they do that, when they do the drop off, right? He shows up in full Nam. He has his jacket, which is kind of funny because when you think about it, the logistics of it, he obviously would have been slimmer in Vietnam, but he has this jacket with his name on it, U.S. Army, and it's like fits him. Kind of doesn't make sense, but here nor there. But yeah, no, his gear in the movie rules.
And when they get to the drop off, they got that Creedence playing.
Yeah. So, Vietnam season. This is my go-to song. Run Through the Jungle. Creedence.
Mm-hmm.
Peak. What's your favorite Creedence song? Do you like Creedence? I've never asked you that.
I guess so. I mean, I just feel like people probably would shoot me if I said that, but like, I kind of listen to them if they're on the radio.
Yeah.
But I don't like seek out Creedence to listen to.
Right.
Whereas I'm more of like, I'm seeking out Seether.
See, this thing text me yesterday. It was like, I have this YouTube video on repeat, and in the gym, it's just Seether. I'm like, nice.
I want to hack the Wi-Fi in the gym just so I can play this Seether song over and over again. That's it.
But so yeah, I love how the dude takes quotes. If you notice this throughout the movie, and he just uses them in conversation. The first one that I noticed was, this aggression will not stand. It's when George H.W. Bush, was it a George H.W. Bush saying that quote?
Yeah.
When he's in Ralph's at the beginning and he's talking about Kuwait, and then he uses it later in the movie. Or when Maud says parlance of our times. Well, trophy wife, parlance of our time. And he just uses them at random. It's so good.
I don't even know, like, this is so strange. This movie is so weird at points, but it's not forced, right? Like, you've seen movies where they have everything just so strange, but it seems forced almost.
Right.
Like the Royal Tenenbaums or something like that. It almost seems forced how weird it is. And this one, not so much. Everything is very strange, though. And like, there's a scene, the dude is just at his house, and he's just listening to a Walkman, a tape on a Walkman. And you can hear that it's just the sounds of people bowling. And it's like labeled some kind of bowling event, 1995, right?
Yeah.
This dude's just sitting on the ground meditating, listening to bowling sounds, which is strange in its own right? And then you look closer, and then it says on side B of the tape, it's just labeled Bob. Like, what, dude?
Well,
random.
To be fair, later on when the Germans come and attack him in the house, he's listening to the sounds of Wales, like, yeah, not the sounds of Wales, the country, the sounds of actual whales, right? And it's just a bunch of like orcas or, I don't know, humpback whales, like screeching. And he's just smoking a J in the tub. That's it.
That's
like,
bro.
That he's meditating. He's meditating.
I watched that scene. So you're talking about the nihilists come in.
Yeah.
With the ferret or whatever. I watched that scene and I was like, dude, I need this for my life.
Mm-hmm.
I need a bath, dog. I need a bath in my house. I need to get a house, and I need a bath, and I need to dim the lights, put a couple candles on, draw myself a bath.
Right. Draw a bath?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what? I haven't had that in my life since I was a little kid at my parents' house. I don't have the time. I don't have the logistics. I don't have an actual bath. I have a shower. Right? I mean, are you bath maxing? Come on.
I'm not a bath guy. I'm a shower guy. But I will say this. every time when I get sick, like sick, when your body's just kind of aching, you know what I mean? I guess it's like flu. I get that like once, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. And I will do that. I won't make a White Russian, but I'll make a hot toddy, right? With tea.
Oh.
And I'll just draw like a hot bath, and I'll just lay in it. Cause your body's aching, you know what I mean? You feel like shit. So I'll just draw a hot bath, right? Cause I don't have a hot tub. I just have a bath option. But, yeah, I'll just draw a bath, just lay in there I might put music on, depends if I have a headache or not from being sick. And then, yeah, I'll just drink what do you call it? A hot toddy.
Dude, it's the ultimate relaxation. I just want you to consider this. Imagine this scenario. Everything you just mentioned, except you're somehow home. Let's say you took off because you were sick. Okay. Mm-hmm. You have not told your wife any of this. You're just chilling in the bath, and your wife comes home. You're like, where's Chris? Like, where is this maniac? Just goes up to the bathroom and sees you just chilling with like candles on.
Yeah, she'd be like, what the hell are you doing, dude? That's the response I would get.
And you just got to have that chill response from the dude. Like,
far
that
out.
aura. That
far out. Far fucking out. Nah, yeah, nothing against baths, but I'm too fast paced. I can't, that's the problem, is I'm quite the opposite of the dude. Like, I could be chill, I feel like, in my life. Yeah. But I'm so fast paced and a little bit, not your level of high strung, but I'm high strung enough to where I just couldn't carve out. Like, the most insane thing I ever heard, our buddy Ryan is like, I take a 45-minute shower every morning. 45 minutes to an hour. I'm like, bro, how do you stand for that long when you just wake up?
Yes.
I could see a bath, but just an hour-long shower. But he does it every morning.
We got to introduce this king to baths. Oh, just draw yourself a bath, brother.
He might not have the option.
That's the thing. These apartments and everything, they don't have baths. Mm. Is this some kind of conspiracy that they don't want us to cozy max in our own house anymore? Is that what this is?
Bath maxing?
We need to start bath maxing. Absolutely. Can we talk to me about why we like Philip Seymour Hoffman in this movie? He has such a small role, but what makes a great actor?
Just in general, I mean, well, in this movie, it's like, yeah, he wasn't Philip Seymour Hoffman yet. That's a good point. It's like, this guy is just doing, that's the thing about film, man, is, you know, what I've learned in acting is, you know, I have a lot of respect for stage actors because it's like, you have to memorize, you have to be on point, you can't miss a beat. But like, when you're acting on film, it's like they see everything. So like, everything is magnified. So your facial expressions can show so much. And that's where you have to really, this is the way the guy's a genius. It's like, he was given very little opportunity in this movie, but he just maximized it and absolutely killed it. That's what makes a great actor.
Like, you're given this character and you're thinking, okay, how do I get into character? How do I become this weird Brandt character, right? And it's crazy because you look at him in this movie and then you look at him in something like Mission Impossible 3,
right? Who
is a legitimate threatening human being, and you believe it. Mm-hmm. In this movie, he's just this goofy, weird guy. Or like, look at him in The Master, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. We'll get to The Master.
Believable as a cult leader.
That's my movie right there.
Totally believable. And it's something where it's a guy hypnotizes themselves,
dude,
into believing they're this actual character.
Yeah, talk about range. I mean, you have a character like this, Brandt, but think about him as Scotty in Boogie Nights.
Mm-hmm. Right. Another different character. That's, I feel like the being a good liar, but not to other people. The trick is to lie to yourself that you actually are this character.
Right.
For whatever period of time. And some people can do it, turn it on and off. Mm-hmm. And some people, they just have to be referred to this guy. as this. I have to be referred to as Brandt for the duration of me being on set.
Well,
right?
that's what everyone is obsessed with Daniel Day-Lewis, and he's notorious for that, where he, had to be carried around set on my left foot, or, could only be spoken to as Lincoln on the set there. Now, that's like method acting. I've never really worked with anyone that did that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's as impressive as someone like, who can just turn it off and on. Especially
I don't think it is as impressive. The impressive thing is committing to it. But I think the more impressive thing is being able to turn it on and off.
Right.
Because that's a real different level of hypnotism.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yep.
But
so then, yeah, getting back to the movie, you have the dude and Walter heading back to the Big Lebowski's house, and they find that Bunny has returned. Yeah, again, Walter talks himself into, not only is the Big Lebowski lying about the bunny, but he's lying about being a cripple. So he drops this line. He's like, I've seen a lot of spinals in my day, dude. This guy can walk. It's like, what, dude? Picks up the Big Lebowski, just drops him. And it's like, it's the best part of it is once it's revealed that obviously he can't walk, Walter just gives this like weird look where he's like raises his eyebrows like, oh shit. And he's like, whatever.
Yeah.
So good.
I think one of the lines too that kind of is the theme of this movie is he just always goes like, fuck it, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go bowling. Whatever. That's what the Big Lebowski says to Lebowski, or the dude, at the beginning of the movie. He's like, oh, that's your answer to everything. Fuck it. He's like, and if you
tattoo it on your head,
tattoo it on your head. He's like, and I was going to bring this up to you. Do you think that's why he hates Lebowski so much, or the dude, I should say, is because he's a vet who got his legs blown off, and seemingly the dude's a hippie.
Mm-hmm. Yes. However, it turns out that this guy is total BS, because it's revealed that he not only is not even doing any of this business. He's not a business tycoon at all.
Mm-hmm.
He's just some guy that his wife ran the company.
So you're saying he wasn't even a vet?
I'm not sure about that. He's lying about all this other stuff.
Right.
And that's why I kind of identify with Walter in this scene, because that's what I would do. I'd be like, what else is this other guy? What else is this guy lying about?
Right.
And like, he can't be even, he's probably not even a cripple, right? But Maud says, he didn't even run the companies. They gave him one company, him or her and his mom and the mom gave him one company one time, and he ran it into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole scheme is he just wants $1 million or whatever for himself. So he takes it from the foundation and sets up this whole kidnapping scheme, and no one's even kidnapped. The nihilists aren't even, there's so much in this movie that we didn't even discuss that I didn't even understand.
They're not even nihilizing?
They're not even, who were they?
It's hard to say.
It's not even clear who they were.
I don't know how they found out about the money. It's how did they find out about these people? Oh, it was because, one of them was banging.
They were acting in the porno with her.
Right. They found out the shoots with Lebowski.
Who was the girl that lost her toe?
The girlfriend of one of the guys.
And they're just in this diner at one scene, and it's another completely insane scene where they're just like ordering stuff in German. And I'm like, what actually is going on? And there's the part of the movie where they go to the kid's house.
Little Larry Sellers.
Yeah. And I'm like, wait a second. Like, how does he get onto, see, he finds the homework in his car. Is he assuming that Larry Sellers is the one that stole his car?
Yeah.
Like, there's so much, right? So there's that. Then there's the guy on the machine, the breathing machine in his house, who's his dad.
Mm-hmm.
And he's supposed to be some writer on some TV show. And they're talking reverently to him. And immediately this kid comes down and they just start going in on him immediately with this guy in the background. It's so crazy, dude. But then for the rest of the movie, they're asking the dude where the money is. And he's like, oh yeah, this kid, it's at this kid. He has it.
Jackie Treehorn.
By the way, and Yeah, he tells Jackie Treehorn, he tells Maud too, after they had the sex. And it's like, that kid never had any money.
Yeah.
He never had any money because there was never any money in the briefcase.
Right. He just happened to steal the dude's car and take it for a joyride.
Yeah. Who knows what happened to the briefcase? And I was like, how is this all related? But they somehow seemingly related all together through like tiny, tiny strands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is so crazy, dude.
A briefcase full of phone books. Imagine finding that.
Imagine finding a briefcase with dirty underwear.
Well, that was the Russians found that. But another good Walterism here is he's rambling on about Nam, right? When they're sitting in the bowling alley towards the end. And Jesus comes over. He's freaking out on them for rescheduling the match. And he's like, this is Bush League psycho stuff. And Walter, he just doesn't say a word until they walk away. And he just calmly goes, he's cracking. It's like,
yeah,
his delivery on these lines is just, it's so great. I mean, the dude is the character in this movie and everyone loves it and yada yada. But I think Walter's the best character.
Yeah. This movie is like, it's so thorough in its craziness. A normal movie would have someone like the Jesus. They'd set him up. He'd bowl, do his little shimmy, and come over and talk to him, right? And that would be it. But in this movie, they go the extra mile. They introduce the character. Walter's saying, "Oh yeah, he's a pedophile," and then it cuts to him walking down the street when he gets out of prison and having to go and knock on people's doors and tell them that he's a pedophile in the area. And it's just like, why did they include this scene? It's so thorough, this movie.
Well, a lot of movies, if you remember the 90s and 2000s, they did that, where they'll do like a cut scene. They're talking about a character, and they'll kind of like, I can't think of a good one off the top of my head, but they'll reference something that happened in the past, and they'll cut scene, and they'll actually have that happen. You don't see that a lot anymore. But yeah, it's a good point.
Exactly.
They make it very thorough.
It's easy to cut corners and not include that, but it's almost not necessary for the movie at all. All he has to say is the guy's a pedo and got out of prison, right?
Well, you have to
go the extra mile in this movie.
No, 100%.
Add this scene.
The Coens, man, the Coens are great with that. But judging by the fact that this is, based on an actual guy, you're assuming there was an actual dude, the Jesus, who was a pedophile. So they were going to flesh that out. You know what I mean? Seemingly, I can't confirm that, but.
And then, the movie ends with Sam Elliott's back.
Yeah. There you go.
And I love how he just wraps up. He's talking to the dude.
Puts a nice bow on it.
And he puts a nice bow on the whole thing. And it's kind of just funny how the whole movie is like God just watching all this stuff happen. And God is just this, he takes the form of Sam Elliott, this cowboy.
Yeah. Got
any more of that sarsaparilla?
And you know what's actually kind of, if you think about it, is the dude was cool at the beginning of the movie, and all this stuff happens throughout, and you see, a lot of range of his emotions. But that last scene, he's like, "Oh man, I was wondering if I ever see you again." And he just grabs 2 beers, like throwing some peanuts in his mouth. He's so even keel. He's back to just like, he didn't get the money. It didn't matter, right? I think the lesson here was, he's back to being the dude, right? And that's how it comes full circle, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. That's how powerful his aura is. He's not affected by all these crazy things going on. He's still just a dude.
Yeah. Maintains that. But that wraps it up. But what's your overarching thing of this? I mean, is there anything, like I just gave a little synopsis there that I believe it's about, is kind of, stay true to yourself, whatnot. That's my take on it.
Yeah. I mean, I think what you said earlier is important. If you've never seen this movie before, give it a watch and then let it process, digest it, and then watch it again, like a couple days later. Because I think there's so many weird things that you don't focus on the first time. And you kind of have to pay attention to what exactly is going on. I mean, we didn't even talk about Jackie Treehorn.
I know.
Played by Ben Gazzara, the bad guy from Roadhouse. Incredible sleazeball actor.
Yeah.
there's so much like random stuff that is crazy in this movie. We just didn't even we could talk about this for 10 hours.
Yeah, this is
drill down.
This is a movie where you'd have to dedicate like 10, 15 minutes to each scene if you want to do it justice, but that's any
again, watch the movie, but watch it a second time, watch it a third time, and pay attention to stuff in the corner that you didn't specifically see the first time, right? Anything else?
I mean, I just need a Keynote rating on this thing. It's just a Keynote rating from you.
Well, I mean, I give it a 9, dude, and I think about it, and I'll tell you, it's weird because I never really liked this movie a lot, and when I say that, I mean a movie that I think about that I love and go back and watch. But when after I watched it a couple times in the last couple of days, I have to think of it as like, this is such a thorough movie. There's so much stuff going on in this movie. Every scene is chock full of weird stuff, which I love. And there's so many insane quotes from this movie, right? And again, there's so much stuff in this movie, but it's not forced. It doesn't seem
right. Everything has its place.
Forced weird. Yeah. Another Coen Brothers masterpiece.
Yeah.
Right. This movie just puts me at peace.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm in a chill mood while watching this. And I think that's positive.
Yeah. I go 8.6. And I think that's 0.1 better than I gave Snatch last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, same thing. Extremely quotable movie. Great characters. Incredible acting. Just one of those all-timers. And, like we said, beat a dead horse, but, it might not make sense the first time you watch it, but you got to go back and rewatch it, and you'll always pick up something new, so.
Well, there you have it, folks. The Big Lebowski. The dude.
The dude. Catch you on the next one.
See ya.